Mortgage renewal up? Brace yourself. The Bank of Canada is about to leave you hanging again. Tomorrow, the Bank of Canada will announce its next interest rate decision. And let's be honest, anyone hoping for a cut is about to be disappointed. Why isn't a cut happening? Well, headline inflation is sitting at 1.9%, but core inflation, the measure the bank cares about the most, is still stuck at 2.7%. That's almost 50% higher than their 2% target. And it's not just inflation. According to the Bank of Canada's Business Outlook survey, companies are still planning to pass higher costs straight on to customers. Households, they're expecting prices to stay high for the foreseeable future. This isn't a blip. This is the kind of sticky inflation that keeps your grocery bill up no matter how much you cut out. So you would think a slower economy would give the bank some breathing room. It doesn't. The economy is weaker than the headlines suggest. In Q1 alone, 30,000 Canadians left the country, and 60,000 permanent residents and non-permanent residents also left, leaving net population growth at 20,000 people. That's a sharp slowdown from 2023, when immigration and temporary residents were driving both population numbers and housing demand. Now, things got out of control, there were too many people, but at 20,000 only, that's just not enough to support the system. And remember, a new immigrant does not bring the same level of tax revenue, business revenue, etc. into the economy as a seasoned Canadian. So losing 30,000 Canadians in Q1 is not replaceable by 20,000 new immigrants. You'd probably need closer to 75,000 to 100 to replace the same economic value. So where are we? Today, there are fewer people. That means less spending power and slower housing demand. Yet core inflation is still running hot. At the same time, wage growth remains over 4%, even as productivity continues to sink. That is the worst combination for the bank because it signals wage price pressure. Businesses keep raising prices to cover higher labor costs, and it is a giant circle. And here's another problem. There still is no federal budget. There will not be a federal budget until at least October, at most December. The Bank of Canada cannot justify cutting rates when it doesn't know what kind of spending is built into the budget or austerity measures even. If the budget adds new stimulus, that could fuel inflation even more. If it's austerity, it could cool the economy. But right now, the bank is flying completely blind. And Mark Carney knows this. He knows it better than anyone. He has been the head of 2 central banks before he became prime minister. He understands exactly how the lack of a budget boxes the Bank of Canada in. And yet he's refusing to release one. He refused to release one. Everyone's on vacation now, right? This isn't just bad optics. It's helping cripple Canadians. It's keeping rates higher for longer than they may otherwise not need to be. We don't know what's in that budget. He could very well have austerity measures in there, and inflation could deflate, and there could be big cuts. But if they were in there, he could have done this before calling off for the summer, and he could have already helped Canadians. Then we have the wild card. Tariffs. Everybody ready for Friday? Friday, as of today, U.S. tariffs go into effect. These tariffs can hit Canadian exporters selling into the US market, and we still do not know if Ottawa will respond with reciprocal tariffs. If Canada does respond, it would raise import costs at home and add another inflation risk the Bank of Canada cannot ignore. The bottom line is, until the global trade picture settles, there is zero appetite for a cut from the Bank of Canada. So, tomorrow's most likely outcome? A hold. The bank will leave its policy rate unchanged, double down on the message that it's prepared to keep rates high until it is confident that inflation is under control. This isn't just about data anymore. It's about credibility too. If Tiff Macklem cuts too early and inflation flares back up because of tariffs or the budget, the bank risks looking like it's caving to political pressure or market demands. And that would be a disaster for Canada's financial stability. So right now, Macklem's job is to show that the Bank of Canada makes decisions independently, even if it means households continue to suffer. And I have to say, this suffering that the Canadian households are feeling, and with another rate hold, are not Tiff Macklem's fault. They are solely on the shoulders of the Liberal Party and Mark Carney at this moment. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you own a home, rent a home, own a small business, grocery shop, have credit card debt, have a line of credit, don't expect rates to come down anytime soon. They're going to stay high into the fall, maybe even next year. And this pressure is not going away because the Bank of Canada is playing defense. And unfortunately, when that happens, your wallet takes a hit. Have a wonderful week.